Bang Fury is John Dahl, Senior Vice President of Content for NASCAR. John came over 18 months ago from ESPN, where he produced high-quality content for 26 years. Currently airing on the NASCAR channel, YouTube, and all the channels. NASCAR is airing Rising with Jesse Love, Carson Hocevar, and Rajah Caruth on YouTube, Fox Sports 1, and then the NASCAR channel. Once programming is on YouTube, Kyle Larson is one of the nicest people in NASCAR. I imagine Kyle had no problem letting you under the hood so you could produce this project.
We don't have the official title totally settled yet, but it's about his quest to do the double of the Indy 500 and the Coke 600 on the same day, and he made an attempt both in 24 and then again this year.
Yeah, so he's done that the last 2 years. He's already been on record. It won't happen this year, although they say there's a couple drivers that may eventually attempt that. But taking a look at this project, Kyle Larson is one of the nicest people to work with, and I imagine Kyle had no problem letting you in and check under the hood for this project.
Yeah, Kyle's great. He's terrific. Enjoyed talking with him again at the NASCAR Awards banquet just last week in Phoenix, and he's willing to show it all. The struggles. It was very difficult, very challenging for Kyle and the entire Hendrick team to try to pull this off. A race 1,100 miles in a single day, and the weather really did not cooperate, particularly in the first year of that attempt. But the filmmaker, our filmmaker Cynthia Hill, just has done a tremendous job with the story. Been following Kyle for a long time and his family, and just tells a really, really revealing story about Kyle that transcends just the attempt at the double those 2 years.
I imagine that hardcore NASCAR fans were a little skeptical about the projects at first, but you won them over with quality content and are now some of the project's biggest fans. How has it worked out for you so far?
It's worked out great. I've been head of content for 18 months, and I've seen just a really strong response to many of the content initiatives that we've put out there. We did a documentary at the beginning of the year called The Madhouse on the return to Bowman Gray for the Clash. And just got a great response to that, both on Fox Sports channels and also on our YouTube channel. It ended up being on our YouTube channel just a few days after we premiered on FS1. So that is just like a core NASCAR fan enthusiast story. And we followed it up with a documentary about the incredible finish in Atlanta in 2024, the three-way finish with Daniel Suarez winning just barely over Ryan Blaney and Kyle Busch. Documentary called So Damn Close, and is really fun. We got those guys together in a theater in Kannapolis, North Carolina, to kind of relive the day and the evening there with that race. So between what we provide daily, weekly on our YouTube channel, there's just really great content there, from radioactive feature to extended highlights. All kinds of content that we're doing inside the race. Our show that has not only been, content during the week from Steve Letarte and Alex Weaver, but also a live post-race show that we started this past week inside the race to serve the fans as soon as the broadcast partner goes off the air. We're there with a show to continue the conversation about what happened in the race that day. So that, you got the NASCAR channel. Our first year of the NASCAR channel has just done really well. On already over a half dozen platforms, fast platforms. The response there has been just so encouraging. When we do a live event, like an ARCA event, we see a real uptick in the audience. So there's a lot of ways that we've been serving fans this past year, and we'll continue to do so in the coming years.
On the other side of this 30, John, I have a couple of questions for you on NASCAR Productions, and we will do that next.
There's a place no map will show you where GR cars turn into full-blown track beasts. Every apex we nailed, every second we shaved, it's all knowledge that goes right back into your ride. You in?
This is Roy J. Akers for the High Bank Fury podcast. We are followed multiple times weekly where we talk to NASCAR drivers, cover stories, and those that shape the sport. This is not just another podcast. We get exclusive content, talk fantasy NASCAR racing, and spill the news before other media outlets drop their take. We are on all podcast channels, the YouTube channel, and can be found on skyviewsports.net. Check out High Bank Fury, the podcast, today. With us on High Bank Fury, we have John Dahl, Senior Vice President of Content for NASCAR Studios. John, we spoke quite a bit at Talladega earlier this year. In the old days of NASCAR, fans connected with the sport through the cars. Now it's through their phones and through streaming content. I imagine you have noticed how new fans are responding to the programming.
Yeah, I think we've seen it, particularly in the social media space. Jess Smith has just done a wonderful job leading our social media team over the past year. And we're just seeing really, really encouraging and terrific engagement from fans on our social media platforms. And I think that's just one indication of where you can reach more casual fans. And, I think a lot about my kids who are 15 and 18 years old. They're big sports fans. How do I get them more engaged in NASCAR and auto racing content? So they're actually a good sample audience for me to kind of feed off of as we look to broaden the scope of the audience.
I sat probably 50 yards from the finish line in the media, in the press box at that awesome Echo Park / Atlanta Motor Speedway race. And to get those three in there and that race, what an incredible ride it must have been to make that particular video. Now, you didn't know you were going to make that. That was done post. It's like, this is a moment. We got all this. We cannot let this pass. I mean, I imagine the junior crew, you didn't do a lot of pre-production on this, or did you? Because no one knew that the race was going to finish that close.
That's correct. So it was all in response and reaction to what we saw there in Atlanta. And there's a real opportunity to tell a fun story there. And it kind of harkened back to a project I had done at ESPN years ago called The Greatest Game Ever Played, about the 1958 NFL championship game and how that was basically the birth of the modern NFL. The overtime game between the Colts and Giants. And we got Colts and Giants from 58 together with Colts and Giants of modern day. And actually the Colts and Giants had won the last two Super Bowls leading into that 50th anniversary. So in a similar way, got Kyle and Daniel and Ryan together to feed off one another, to react, to look at sequences from the race. And you just get a level of insight that you're not going to get from individual interviews. And so that was a lot of fun to do something like that. So, I think, you've got that. You've also got what we did in the past year, Full Speed, continuing on Netflix this past year. And also, Earnhardt, the Earnhardt documentary series was spectacular for us on Amazon Prime Video. Amazon has been such a great partner in year one. Between the race broadcast, the pre and post coverage, the way they've handled the races, and then just working with their original content team has just been a tremendous experience. And the Earnhardt documentary is the most viewed documentary series ever for Amazon Prime Video. So tremendous appreciation to the Imagine Entertainment team, Dan Lindsay, TJ Martin, for delivering something like that for Amazon and for us.
On the other side of this 30, John, I have a couple of questions for you on NASCAR Productions, and we will do that next. This is Roy J. Akers for the High Bank Fury podcast. We are found multiple times weekly, where we talk to NASCAR drivers, cover stories, and those that shape the sport. This is not just another podcast. We get exclusive content, talk fantasy NASCAR racing, and spill the news before other media outlets drop their take. We are on all podcast channels, the YouTube channel, and can be found on skyviewsports.net. Check out High Bank Fury, the podcast, today. Final question. NASCAR is partnering with their broadcast partners, whether it's through Fox Sports 1, the NASCAR channel, Amazon, and the rest. The programming is pinballing off the various partners. It looks like NASCAR and the partners are certainly getting their money's worth by placing content in the hands of both traditional and new fans.
Thank you. I mean, that's the goal. We want to broaden the audience for NASCAR. It's such a great sport, an exciting sport. We had another terrific year this year with a dramatic finish to the season, and we've had partners that have been so good to work with, not just Fox Sports and Amazon Prime Video, but also you've got Turner Sports and NBC and
That's right.
and USA. So. And of course, you got the CW network. What a great first year for our Xfinity series to soon be the O'Reilly Auto Parts series. To work with CW, the numbers were so encouraging there on year one on the CW network. So, we've got great partners to work with who want to help us grow the sport. And then there's other distributors out there too that we can tap into, like we did, for example, with Full Speed on Netflix.
For fans checking out Rising, coming out with some of the young guns in the sport, to find out more about that content and new content and other content that's been archived, go to NASCAR.com to find out about all things about the sport and through NASCAR content. Thank you, John Dahl, for coming on. This is Roy J. Akers, the host of High Bank Fury.
Think about it, and I did win 85 times, my Scout's honor, 85 times.